Hello folks, hello, welcome to the class. Hello. Yes, Maunish. Yes, just thinking. Hopefully I look less dull now. Thank you. Yes. So everyone, welcome to the class. Hi David, hi Althea, hi Sankey, hi Monisha. Yes, so folks, today is session number 6. Let me remove the timing logo here. Let me remove the class timings. Okay, there we go. And let me remove the follower goals. Let me keep the screen clear here. Okay, so folks, today is going to be a continuation of yesterday's session. Now yesterday, what did we do? Let me get my PowerPoint up and running here. So as I told you yesterday, we'll be using a lot of tools when we are developing and programming. But as always, I'd like to start by explaining what these classes are and what is this about. Now these are very basic programming classes. Now what is a very basic programming? Now I have my website here, which is baribasic, baribasic.com. So this is my website, baribasic.com, where you can find all the material, tutorials, videos, code app, code pens, everything, whatever we are doing in this training, everything is available in this website, baribasic.com. Now here, if you go, you have our tutorials right here. Let's open the tutorials, and in the tutorial you'll have to again go to web tutorials, and here you have an option called fully built demo. It's a live demo. This is what at the end of this training, this is what we'll try to build, and this is what I mean by a basic web programmer. So in this web app, which is a simple basic web app, I have responsive design, wherein your web app will change size according to the screen in which you're looking at. It also uses some simple HTML navigation, like you can go from one page to another page, basic navigation. And also I have built a simple API server which has basic token authentication. This app consumes that API server to register a new account, collect tokens by using that account, and also make authenticated as well as non-authenticated API calls. Now if you are in a position to build something like this, that means you are not a basic developer, you are an advanced or intermediate developer, and you don't need these classes. But everything that I just said, what you see on the screen, if that is something which is very new to you, then yes, you can learn something from these classes. So welcome to the very basic session. This is session number 6. This is the Wednesday session, which means after today's session we'll come back only on Monday. So yesterday we were doing this. So let me just open my PowerPoint here, and yesterday session number 6 and 7. There we go, 5 and 6 and 7. So this is 7 session. So we are continuing the same topics from yesterday. I mentioned this before. These sessions are meant for people who are very new to programming. So I'll be going very deep into simple concept, which is why sometimes you may feel like I'm spending way too much time on something which you already know. If you are getting what I'm saying very fast, then that is good, which means you're learning things very fast. But there are some people who take extra time to learn, so we are going to focus on them also. So this is session number, I think this is session number 7. So this is 5, 6 and 7. Yeah, this is 7, sorry, session number 7. And these are the things we've been learning. Basic tags, H1 tag, we have learned about the paragraph tag, we learned how to use them, we learned about the HR tag, and then we learned about the IMG tag, we learned how to use IMG tag locally, we also learned how to use the IMG tag using an URI or a URL. So all these things, and we also learned how to use a list, and we also learned how to use a link. The link tag is just the A tag, but I like to use it with the P tag all the time. So that is what I do when it comes to the basic of tags and how to use them. So we learned all these things till now, one topic at a time. So now before we go to the next topic, now if I look at my textbook here, I scroll down, right now we are here, basic tags, image and links and so on. Now the next topic is some basic CSS. But before we go from this chapter, basic tags, to basic CSS, I want to go ahead now. When we practiced these tags, we did them one at a time, we have the examples here. Let me open yesterday's CodePen. So let me log into my CodePen here, and it'll open my CodePen, and I go to my dashboard, going to my dashboard, and this is yesterday's what we are trying to build. It's loading. Just give it a minute. Yeah, so this is what I'm trying to build. The output is available here. So let me open the output, take that out, put it on the right side, and here we go. So this is the code which we finalized yesterday. We built a list as well. So if you scroll down here, we have some images, and we also have a list, another type of list, and some links. And each of these things we learned one at a time. So today, before we move on to the next topic, and the next topic will be basic CSS, before we make the jump from basic HTML tags to basic CSS, let's put all these things we learned in the last few classes into like a simple project, a very mini project, or I like to call it a micro project. That is what we are going to do by putting all the things which we have learned into one micro project. So what I'll do here is, now because we are trying to build something like a micro project, now remember I told you we are going to use CodePen for practicing, but when it comes to doing any kind of project and so on, we will be using Visual Studio Code, which is what I am going to do right now. So I already have code. Now I have this. Now I also keep saying that if you have an option to copy paste something, then you should copy paste things. You should avoid trying to do something new. You should avoid trying to type things as much as possible. Copy paste, there's nothing wrong with it. Here I already built this code. This is my code. So if I'm copying from myself, there is nothing wrong in it, and it saves me time and it reduces error. Okay, you know how people say you should recycle. So what we are doing is we are recycling and reusing our own code which we know already is correct. So we are going to use things which we already practiced and it's already available, and we'll try to build a very simple, like a mini micro project which puts all these concepts in a single place. So what are we trying to build? What is this micro project? So let's go to our PowerPoint here. Let me create a new slide, duplicate slide. Let's do this here. So we are trying to build a very simple micro project. Okay, now in this micro project, what I want to do is I want to combine all the basic tag topics that we have covered. So here what I want to do is I want to have like a main page. You know, I want to have like a main page or an entry page, or you may call it index.html. I want to have this. Okay, and from this page I want to go to 3 other pages. So go from index page to 3 other pages. Okay, and we should be able to come back to the main page. From the other pages. Okay, and another thing which I want to do is we should be able to return to the main page, which means once you go from say page number 1 to page number 2, you should be able to come back to the original page. And finally, now each page should have some paragraphs, headings, images in each page. Okay, and the index page will just have links. Okay, so our micro project is we are going to build a total of 4 pages or 4 HTML files, and the idea is there'll be an entry page. It is usually called the index.html, and from the entry page we'll go to 3 other pages, and in each page there should be a button or something which will take us back to the main page. So this is a simple project. So it's like say you're just building a knowledge website or something. So that is what we are trying to do. And also in every page we should have some paragraphs, we should have some headings, and we should have some images. And then even in the index page we'll have the same thing. So all of them have the same concept, but you should be able to navigate from one page to another. So this is what we are going to do using only the things which you have learned till now. So that is why it's a very micro project. And because it is like a project, I'll be using Visual Studio Code. Practicing we'll do in CodePen. Actual coding and building projects we'll do in Visual Studio Code. And this way, when we build our end project, now our end project is going to look like this. This is what we'll build. At the end of this training, you and I together, we should be in a position to build this web app. Alright, so that is what we're going to do. So this project will build in Visual Studio Code. So we might as well get used to using it right away. So what is our goal here? Now before we start coding, this is something which a lot of developers do, especially beginner developers, especially students, especially freshers. What they do is when they are given a project, so this is our project, this is a project. So imagine this project is given to you by your boss wherever you're working. They have given you build a simple micro project. So this is a micro project you're building, and this is what is called as project requirements. Now when you are given a project, a lot of folks, hi Dr. Distu, welcome to the class, man, welcome. So when you are building a micro project and you're given a project, please don't, I'm saying don't immediately start coding. Don't do that. Don't be one of those people who when given a work, they'll immediately start working. No. First, try to understand what the project is. And second, in any real web app, in any real app, there are a lot of things. In fact, sometimes even 50-60% of the project is not coding. It is something else which has nothing to do with coding. Now let me use our web app as an example to explain to you what I'm talking about. So I have my demo web app here. This is my demo web app. Okay. So here, for example, I have these links. Okay. So here it says, okay, see these things are inside the web app. Consume API, same web app, no changes. New user registration, same web app, no changes. Existing user sign in, same web app, no changes. So here this is straightforward. This is pure coding. But look at this. Here I have a link called check out the app GitHub repository. So when I click on that, this goes to another link. And if I go back, I have another link here. This one is also another link to something else entirely. So what is happening here? What I would like to do is, before I start coding this project, I have to first make sure I have all the things, information, images, documents, links, everything I want to prepare before I start coding. Why? See, the thing is, once you start doing some work, it is important that you do it continuously. So if you're eating food, you do food eating, and then don't let it interrupt. If you're listening to the class right now, focus on the class, do other things later. So it's always a good idea to not be interrupted when you're doing something. In fact, even something like watching a movie or playing a video game, sleeping, no matter what activity it is, when you do something continuously, that is when you get good results. But what happens is, with software development, almost everybody assumes that software development is 100% coding. Unfortunately, it is not. Programming is 100% coding. So if you are just practicing for exam or just writing code without any purpose, like you're just writing it for exams or practicing for some test, then sure, it is 100% coding. But please understand that when you tell that you are a programmer or something like that, then maybe you're talking about coding. But when you say that you are an app developer or you're a web app developer or something like that, or you're a software developer, it means you are developing a software. You're developing something which contains code, but it also has a lot of other things. And there you go. Dr. Distu is saying, is pointing out what I just said. He's saying, yes, people think, and he also believes it is a common misunderstanding, and I don't blame it, because programming is definitely 100% coding in my opinion, whereas software development is maybe 50% coding, it may be 40% coding, but not 100% coding. And that's the thing, right? In this app, okay, the top 3 links, it's pure coding, but what about the remaining 3 links? So somewhere someone has to give me that link. Now if I go back to my micro project here, look at the project requirements. Now we know we need 4 HTML files. Why? It says here we have an index page and then we have 3 other pages. So we know we have 4 pages. But look at this. It says each page should have some paragraphs, each page should have a heading, and each page should have images, which means this project has certain content requirements. Now content are things that you show on your web app. Now in my demo web app, which we'll build at the end of all these training session is over, the content is these links. These links become the content. Okay. For example, at the bottom of this web page, I have put a simple ear. Now that is content. Okay. Now when I go here, existing user. Now I have written some words here. Okay, I have something called oh yeah or something. Again, that is content. So this web app is simple, so the content is less, but you still have content. So what I would recommend is, before you start working on a project, make sure that you have all the content ready to you, and only then you please go ahead and start writing your code. So that is what I'm going to do right now. So my boss has given me this micro project. Now I'll not jump into coding immediately. First I'll look at the requirements, and whatever content it needs, I'm gonna get it ready. Now it says here that each page should have some paragraphs. Now paragraph means sentences. Alright. Now yesterday I told you, when you're gonna be practicing web programming, you will need content, lots and lots of sentences. So what did I tell you? I told you to go to my website baribasic.com and go to my textbook. My textbook is here, and here at the top I have an option called while we're practicing, you'll need some ready to use content and images. Find some images and find some content. So we are going to content, and I'll find the link for the Sherlock Holmes novel. So we go here, and I have so many novels here. I'll go to HTML, and here I'm going to just say okay, sign up for. I have the content. Okay, now this is the content. So if I go back to my PowerPoint, let me make a short list here. Now this is what is called as project planning. If you're going to become a very cool web app developer, then you have to be good at managing yourself and managing the project. That's right, Dr. Distu. Get the content ready. There you go. And then only you can go to the next step. So right now I'm in the project planning and collecting content and resources phase. So let me create a new slide here. Let's go for this. Yes, there we go. So what I'm doing right now is, first is when you get a project requirements, content, images, links, and everything else, get it ready. That is the first thing. So now I'm looking at content, and I found the content, and the content is here. So what I'll do is, in my checklist, I'll say content is ready, because that was one of the requirements of this micro project. Now this is where I also want to give one more advice, folks, from my own experience. I mean, all of these classes are my experience only, so this is another tip from my life. Always maintain a project work diary. You know, I have worked on many projects, folks. You know, I have worked on projects for clients mostly from the Western world. You know, all of my clients are either from America or UK or Europe and Singapore and things like that. I mostly work remotely and so on. And for every project I worked on, there is something called as software project documentation. We will talk about documentation at the end of all these basic training sessions, but before we build our final web app. But yes, there is something called software documentation, and that is a very important thing that good developers do. So if you're planning to be a good developer, make sure you document whatever it is that you're doing, and it will save you a lot of headache tomorrow. Okay, so what does it mean by documentation? Now there are many ways to ensure that you have properly documented your project, but we are going to take a simple route, because I'm a big fan of simple things, basic things. I love that. So what I'll do here is, first let me create a project folder. So I'll go here. This is where I'm keeping all my code in a folder called code repos. I have a folder called Bari Basic here, and I'm going to create a folder called micro project July 8th. So this is my project folder. Okay, now what I'll do is, this is my folder now, so whatever it is that I'm doing, I'll put all the things here. I'll put my code here, content here, images here, everything will come here. Now first thing what I'll do is, when I create a new project folder, the first thing I'm going to do is create a project work diary. Now, how do you create a project work diary? Simple. Go open your Visual Studio Code. Now please remember, in our classes we use Visual Studio Code all the time, but you can use any editor you want. But in our classes we'll use Visual Studio Code. So I'll go ahead and open a folder. So click on open folder. Go to the folder we just created, which is micro project July 8th, and open that folder. So the folder is now created and opened. And here what I'll do is I'll go to File, New File, and I'll just call this workdiary.txt. And that's it. That is our file. Okay, I'm gonna create a simple file called workdiary.txt, and this is my project work diary, and here I'll put whatever I'm doing for these project, notes, code samples, everything I need. It's like a diary of your project. So the first thing is I'm working on this project diary. Normally I like to put the date, because when you're working on a project you'll work for days and months and weeks, so it's a good idea to put the date. And then what is the first thing? Right now we are in the collection of content phase. So I mentioned before that this is my content, so I'm gonna put that here. So content is ready. Now next, what do I need? Next I need images. Why? If I go to my PowerPoint, it says clearly that I need some images. So we have a total of 4 pages, so we need 4 images. Now yesterday we already took some images from the unsplash.com website, so I already showed you very slowly how do I get images, how do I get it ready. So today I'm going to do that step very fast. So let me go here, and then I'm going to go to the unsplash.com website. I'll put this website address also in my work diary, just so that it will be useful. Okay, I need 4 images. I'll make a note of that. So let me go here, and there are some 4 images right now. So I'll take this one, I'll take this one, I'll take this one, and I'll take this cat one. So all the 4 images which I found online right in the front page, I'll take it. If you want to use this image later, you can put these image links in your work diary. It's up to you. In your work diary you can put, it's a smoking image, maybe I should not use it. Yeah, let's use some other image, guys. I don't want to use this one. There you go, this old grandma lady drinking some coffee. So we'll use that. So let's not use a smoking image photo. Yeah, thank you, Cash. Thank you. So I have these images here. Let me quickly get them. So download, and okay, saved. Go here, download, saved. 4 images. I need 4 images. Download. Okay. And lastly, this cat photo, download, and okay. So I got 4 images. They're all downloading. We'll wait for it. We'll wait for the images to be downloaded. Now that is the next step. First we got paragraph content. We are using the Sherlock Holmes novel. We put that link in our work diary, so we're all set. Second thing is, now we are getting our images. I'm just waiting for it to finish downloading. And once they're ready, I'll make them smaller like I did yesterday using Irfan View. Irfan View is a small software. I advised all of you to install it on your computer. Very useful for doing some basic image manipulation, which is good enough for our purpose. Okay, still downloading. We'll just wait for it. It's almost done. Yes, sir. Okay, so we got 4 images here, so I'm going to take them. 4 images. Today's top. Okay, so take the images, go to your project folder, and here I'm going to say original images. I'll create a folder called original images. I'll go here and I'll paste them. Okay, so once I've done that, what I'll do here is I have to make them smaller. So I'll open each image. Okay, and I'm going to say copy, and I'll paste them again. I'll make a copy. I'll keep the originals as it is, and I'll create a new folder called modified images. So I have these images. Let me make them smaller. So I'm going to quickly do it. If you want to know exactly how to do it, yesterday's class, the video is available on our YouTube channel, so you can see that. But right now I'm going to do it very fast, very quickly. Okay, resize 400. I'm making the images smaller just to make the coding easy. That's it. There's no other reason to do this. just to make our life a little easier, because this image is very small. Now of course there is a lot of ways where you can make the image small without doing all these steps, but I don't want to get into that right now. So I like to keep these things very simple. So this is how we are going to do it. Okay, 2 images done. Resize. I'm choosing the width as 400 for all the images because 400 is big enough that it's not too big, it's not too small. It's a good size to work with. So 400 is what I'm using for all the images for the width. And okay, and yes, there we go. So now what we have is, in our project folder we have the original images which we obtained from unsplash.com, and then we have a folder called modified images where we have smaller sized images for the sake of convenience. It is not mandatory that you have to make the images smaller. Okay, I don't know if Dr. Distu has a question, but I think he's typing the question, so when he types it in, I'll respond. So continuing, so let's go back to my PowerPoint. So content is ready. I have the link here for paragraphs. And then next is images. I have the images ready here. 4 images for 4 pages. So images also ready. So let's go back to our project requirements again. So if I look at my project requirements, it says here that okay, every page should have some paragraphs. So we have the content from Sherlock Holmes website. Headings, which again we can content again, so we can get it from Sherlock Holmes website. And images, each page will put one image. So we need 4 images because we have 4 pages. Those images are here. I have 2 set of images actually. I have the original images in case you feel the image is too small, like later, or in case you feel like thank you Naveen for following the channel. Thank you so much. Thank you, and thank you all everybody else. I have a lot of followers today. Thank you so much for following. We may have some newcomers also to our class today. Thank you so much everyone for coming to the class. This is really making me happy because in the pandemic I'm just sitting at home not doing any work. So this is really, this class is giving me like a purpose. So thank you so much everybody. So coming back, so I have the original images here in case I feel after building the project I want to increase the size of the image or make it even smaller. So yes, so I'm going to keep the original images. So going back to my PowerPoint, I have everything I need to start coding. So this is what I was talking about. Whenever, anytime you get a project. In fact, this is not just about software development. In real life also, anytime you get any kind of work, whether it is a hobby work or some personal life work or something, don't immediately jump and start doing it. No, don't do that. Stop, slow down. Take a minute or take 1 minute, 2 minutes, take half an hour, take 1 hour if you want, unless it's an emergency. Okay, I mean, of course, there are always emergencies and exceptions. I'm not talking about emergency situations. I'm talking about those times when you have an option to take things slowly. So always think, understand the problem, and then tackle the problem. Same thing we are doing here in software development. We are not just learning how to code. We are learning how to build web apps. When this training is over, if you have come to all the classes or if you are watching this video recorded, I want you to know that if you followed all the classes and if you practiced the way I did, I can promise you that you will be able to build what you see here on the screen. Our mini project. You will be able to build our mini project. Now that is what I'm going for. So my focus is always on not teaching you how to code. My focus is on teaching you how to build something which you can show to people, which people can use. All right. Thank you, Navya. So I have everything I need right now, so I'm ready to start coding. Okay, because I spent some time understanding the project. I understood that the project has some requirements. I collected all the necessary things, and now I'm ready to code. So you see, even though our project is a micro project, we spend so much time on doing things like collecting content and collecting images, which has nothing to do with coding. This is what I was talking about. When you say that you're a web app developer, you have to understand here that a lot of times, some 50%, 60% is coding, but remaining 40% is thinking and collecting things. So always remember this, okay? So let me go back to my folder here. I've already created a folder called Micro Project July 8th, and I have already opened it in Visual Studio Code. As mentioned before, CodePen is for practice, project development is done in Visual Studio Code. So here, you can see that the folders are already recognized. So here what I do is, if I go back to my PowerPoint, it says here that first step, there should be a main page or a entry page. So that is the first thing we are going to do. So we'll go here to Visual Studio Code and we are going to say index.html. Usually the first page that you create in a project is almost always index.html. Okay, now we can start coding. We can start coding the HTML code, we can start coding all the tags we learned, but my style is I will never type something if I can copy paste. So instead of typing the code, we will take one of our old projects, copy paste that code here and make our code faster and with less errors. So that is what we'll do now. So let me open an old project. So I'll open another window of Visual Studio Code and I have the old folder, yesterday's folder. Where is that? Yeah, session number. This is yesterday's project which we did in CodePen, and here I have some index.html file. Now this is what I want to use in my project also. So what I'll do here is, now this is the code which we wrote yesterday. So I'm gonna do a Control A on a Windows computer. If you're doing on a Mac, it's Command A. So Control A and then Control C or Command C, come to my project and save it. Okay, so this code I was supposed to type it with my hand, chuck, but I'll never do that. I have code which I wrote in the previous class. I'm just gonna recycle it, reuse it and make some changes. Okay, now second thing is, you'll notice that in this project we also have a style.css file. So let's do this. Let's create a file called style.css. You will understand what the CSS file is when we talk CSS in the next session, but right now just put your faith in me and continue. So style.css, and just like index.html, this also I will copy and I'll put it in this file. Okay, so we are building the first page, index.html. Instead of typing the code myself by memory or by looking at a link or something, I'm going to do the smart thing and copy the code from my previous project which I built with my own knowledge. So it's not bad if you copy from yourself. Okay, so I have the index.html. Now here, if I go back to my so I need to kind of remove some things, a lot of things here which I don't need. So what I want to do here is, I don't want all these things. I don't want this h1 tag from the other one. I don't want all this image tag. So what I'll do is, I'll take this, I'll cut it out, but instead of forgetting it, I'll put all this in my diary. Remember I told you we have a work diary, so we will put this in our diary. We'll use this later, that's why. Okay, so I put that in diary. So if I come back here, I have this much. Now here what I want to do is, the footer I want to keep it as it is, that is fine. So, and here title is micro project, so I'll change that. Micro project July 8th 2020. Okie dokie. And then the main container I have here. So now I have my style, that is no changes there, that's fine. So let me run this on a local server. Now if you are planning to practice on Visual Studio Code, okay, in this project what I'm building right now, then you'll need Visual Studio Code with Node.js installed and the http-server Node.js package installed. Now I'm not able to show you how to install Node.js. I'm not able to show you how to install Node.js packages. Sorry about that, but there are a lot of videos on YouTube. You can use that to install it. Okay, so please have those things ready if you're gonna try to do this on your own, after the class or during the class. Okay, so I'm running the server and I'll open this website which I'm building right now live, and then I'll launch it. Okay, there we go. It is up and running. So I have the basic empty blank space running. So we are all set with that. Okay, so now I want my index.html. First thing is index page. It says index page will have the same thing, which is it will have a paragraph, it will have an image. So first let's put an image on our index page. So we'll go here, we'll close our second project. I don't want it anymore. We'll come back to this. We'll keep the terminal. Yeah, we'll keep it there. And here what we want is, I want to put a header first. I want to put a title. This is a micro project. Okay, so I'll go to my work diary. See, this is where I like my work diary, So I'm going to take this title, go here and put it here, and I'm going to say micro project July 2020. Now when I come to my browser, which has the output, let me keep this one here and let me keep this on the left side. So when I load this, it clearly says micro project July 8th 2020. So it looks nice. I have a nice heading for my micro project. Now the next thing is, if I go back to my PowerPoint, so this is how you do software development. You have your project requirements, you keep checking it, you build the code, check the requirements, build the code, check the requirements, build the code. So you have to keep switching. Okay, this is how web app development happens, or any app development happens. So first thing is, I have the heading that is done. Now I want to put an image. Okay, so remember, we're not going to write any code, we're going to copy paste it. So I'm going to go back to my work diary, and I already have an image tag. I already have a nice image tag. I'm going to copy that, and I'll come to my code here, and I'll put that image here. All I have to do is change the file name. Now we talked about paths yesterday. Now my images are in a folder called modified images, and here this one, let me call it white cat. Let me call this table book. Let me just call this cat. Keep it simple. This is grandma. Oh, sorry, what happened? That image went off. Now where is my recycle bin? Where is my recycle bin? Hello sir, where is my recycle bin? Okay, there you are. Let's see. Yes. Okay, I deleted this, but for some reason the image, there it is. Restore. Perfect. Thank you so much. Yes, come back. Okay, so let's go to my images. Okay, so this is the next one I want to rename. So this is grandma with coffee, and this is some mountain. When you are giving names to images, it's a good idea to not give any spaces, and I like to use lowercase letters. It's not a rule, it's just convenience. Okay, keep the name simple, something which is easy to type and remember. So what I want to do is, on the index page, I want to put the table book. So I'm going to take the image name, right click, rename, select, go back to my code, and put that in the source. Now the thing is, the images are in a folder called modified images, so we have to mention that in the path. So I'm going to say images, modified images / tablebook.jpg. Alternate is tablebook, and the output is on the right side here. So now if I reload this, there we go. So as per the project requirement, hello Bhavani, thank you for following. Hello 91821, thank you for following. Hi Naveen, thank you for following. So we have the image now as per the project requirement. Now next what it wants is a paragraph. Okay, so paragraph, also we have a paragraph tag. So let's take the paragraph tag here. I also want a line, so I'll copy the paragraph tag, and I'm going to use that in my index.html. And now when I look at my output, there you go. I have the header, I have the image, I have the what is it called, paragraph, and I have the horizontal line. So this much is done. Now this is the index page. Now from the index page, I should be able to navigate, link. I should be able to link to the other 3 pages. So before we do the linking, let's create the other 3 pages. Okay. So now that we already have 1 page, creating 3 more pages is very, very straightforward. So how are we going to do it? You'll see now. So I'm going to go to my project folder. Now this is my project folder, and here I have the index.html. So what I'm going to do is I am going to right click and make a copy of this. Now I am like a copying expert. I like to work smart and hard. So I want to do that. So paste 1 time, paste 2 times, paste 3 times. So now I wanted total 4 HTML files, and I have 1 file which I built. Now I'm going to quickly create copies of it. So now I have the total 4 HTML pages. So let me give them some names. So this is index.html. Now I think in the second page I'm going to put that grandma. So I'll call this page grandma with coffee. Okay, and this page, I think this is the mountain page. So I'll call this mountain. And I think one more image was the cat. Okay, so I'm going to call this the cat. Very good. So I have the names of the pages. So I have to link to them from the index page to all 3 of them. And I know their names here. So let me do this. Let me keep this folder on the right side. Let me keep the code on the left side. And I have the link code in my work diary. So I'm going to take this. Where's my link? Where is that? Where's my link? I'm not getting the link here. So I can take the link from CodePen. There it is. Okay, so I'll go here and I'll go to index.html. And I'm going to say put this links here. First link. Now let me put this. This is link. Okay, and then 1 second. One second. Let me see. So okay, so I got the demo link here. So total, how many pages do I have? I have total of 3 pages. So I'll take this and I'll have it 3 times. Okay, very good. So let me look at the output. How does it look? So let me open the output here. Okay, I have 3 links and also have space to write my sentences. So that is what we are going to do now. So the first one is, I think we're going to link it to the mountain page. So I'm going to say mountain page. Okay, mountain page. The second one, I think I'm going to make it for the grandma. So I'm going to just say grandma page. And the last one, I'm going to call it the cat page. So I'll just say cat page. Okay, so here this is the sentence about the link, and this is the name of the link. So we can make this a little better. So I can type here, so just saying mountain, I can make it for the mountain page. I can say go here. So it looks a little better. Okay, then I can say for the grandma page, go here. So again, I am typing this. Normally I would copy paste, but it's a small thing, so you'll have to kind of balance between how much copying you want to do and how much actual typing you want to do. So you have to do what is called as a very quick cost benefit analysis. Alright, so there we go. So for the mountain, go here, cat, go here, and you reload and so on. And this is what you, let's see, yes. So I have the links ready and I have the pages ready. So I just need to put the proper link. So how do we link? Just like how you link images, you put the name of the HTML file. So you go here, right click, put the grandma link in the grandma page. There you go. Just like we discussed yesterday. So take the mountain link and put it in the mountain line, and the cat link, take it and put it in the cat section. There we go. So now if I go here, reload this, if I click on this, it will go to the mountain page. You can see here. This one takes to the grandma page, you can see at the top, and this one goes to the cat page, you can see at the top. So the linking is working fine. Now before we alter the content, like for example right now I'm in the cat page, but where is the cat photo, where is the cat content? That we have to update. We will come to that. Before we start changing making the cat page look like a cat and the mountain page look like a mountain, we need to look at the project requirement. It clearly says each page should have paragraphs, headings and images. It also says we should be able to return to the main page from the other pages. So now when you go to the cat page, to go back to the main page, you have to click on the back button, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Every browser will have a back page, but it is always a good idea to give a back button somewhere at the end of the page also. It makes it easier, it makes it a little bit more cooler and gives a pleasant experience, because we are not just coding here, we are trying to build a simple website. So I want to add a small link at the bottom of every page. So what I'll do here, I'll go back to my code, I'll take this and I'll go to, let's go to the cat. So I'm going to open the cat file, and here I'll just add a small sentence, link, go back to the main page here. And here now, before we are going one level up, when we discussed paths, we talked about going one level up and going one level down. Right now we are going one level up. So I'll do dot. So I'll say dot slash index.html. So I'm going one level up. If you're going down, you don't use dot, you just use the folder name. Whereas here I'm going one level up. But wait a minute, if I look at this project folder, I made a mistake. So here the cat and index, they are neighbors. I don't have to go any levels at all. Sorry. I just have to directly type the name of the file. That's it. So I go back to this one. I'm in the cat page. Reload. I click on this. I am back to the main page. So that's it. So I'm going to have to take that link and put it in all the pages. So I'm going to copy as always. Go to grandma. And I'll paste this here. And I'm going to go to mountain. Go to the bottom. Paste this here. Now, when I reload this page, I go to mountain. See, I come back. I go to the grandma. I'm able to come back. I go to the cat. I'm able to come back. So, another requirement. So, this is done. Main page is done. Go from index page 3 pages. This is done. And the index page already has images and paragraphs setting done. So the only last thing remaining is each page should have some paragraphs and headings and images. So if I go here in my output, it does have the image, it does have a paragraph, but at least the image we should change. So we'll go here to the code. The mountain, will put the mountain image. So let's go to the modified images. The mountain image is mountain.jpg. So let's do that. Where is the, let me make this a little bigger. Yes, there we go. So I put the mountain image name, and now let me go to the grandma. So take the grandma photo name, put that here, done. Now I think the last one is the cat. Take the cat name and put it in the images section. So now when I reload this page, so this is the main page. From the main page, I'm able to go to the mountain page. The mountain image is coming. Oh, it's not a mountain, it's an umbrella. Sorry guys, in the image it looks like a mountain, sorry. But still, it's correct. I mean, programming wise. So, and then I come back, I go to the grandma page, the grandma image is coming. I go back here, I go to the cat page, the cat page is coming. So let's try it again. So main page, mountain, excellent. Grandma page, grandma, excellent. Cat page, cat, excellent. There we go. Now if I go back to my project requirement, this is done. And that is our mini project. So what we did is we were able to use the basic knowledge, basic things that we learned. Okay, in fact I can change, and also this is responsive because we are using Bootstrap, which I'll talk about in a future session. So if I go here, I go to web developer, I turn on responsive design. See, this is how it will look in an iPhone. There you go. It looks neat, it adjusts itself. Okay, and then I go to this mountain page. There you go, you're able to see the mountain. Okay, and then we'll come back here and we'll go to the grandma. Yeah, grandma is coming up. And the cat page is coming up. Okay, and of course, you know, we have not focused on the responsive design yet because the images is kind of scrolling away. It should not be doing that. It should support to fit itself, which we will do later. Okay, when we use Bootstrap and CSS properly, the image will automatically become smaller and bigger depending on your mobile phone size or screen size. That is called responsive design. We have not done that. I mean, it is happening for text. You see how the sentences are adjusting to the font size, but the image is not. So we'll do that later. Okay, so there we go. This is working just fine, and that means we have completed the micro project using the things we learned in the last few classes, only using basic HTML and basic HTML tags and some Irfan view and so on. So that is what I want to discuss today. I don't see any questions so far. There are a lot of follows today. Thank you so much, all of you who followed me, and thank you so much for everyone who joined the session. If you have any questions, please put the questions there. I'll be online for a few more minutes. If there are no questions, then I'll be wrapping it up. So thank you so much for joining in, and next session will be on Monday. We do our classes. Let me just put that up on the screen here. We do our classes are happening every day from Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, and 4:30 p.m. IST, 2 p.m. Romanian time, and 11 a.m. Pacific time. So those are our timings. So thank you everyone for coming. Thank you so much, Kashmiri. Thank you so much for joining our session. I will be online for a couple of minutes if there are any questions. Otherwise, I'll see you folks on Monday. Thank you, Navya. Thank you so much. Hi CS, hi, hello. The class starts at 4:30 p.m. So we are wrapping up the class today. So today's class is over. So I would request you to go ahead, follow me on the channel if you are not already doing it, so that you can get notified about the class. It's Monday to Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. That's when we do the class. That's Indian time. If you're not from India, then I've given the time zones there. You may have to do some conversion. That's right, SK. That's right. Today you missed the class, but we are back on Monday. So, and also I put the schedule on my Twitch account, which automatically gets converted to your time zone. So if you follow the channel, you can just see my schedule, and that will have the time from wherever you are joining in. And yes, I was just about to mention that. Thank you, Altaya. So you can see there in the chat, if you wait for a few minutes in the chat, you'll get the link to my YouTube channel, or on my channel there's a link to my YouTube channel where the recorded version of the classes are uploaded every day after the class. So in the next 6 to 12 hours, whatever class we just conducted, we will be recording that and uploading it to the YouTube channel. There you go, Altaya. Yes, thank you so much. I hope that helps you, SXXO. And I hope you'll join us on Monday. I hope you'll join us on Monday and see the recorded videos on YouTube. Thank you so much, Altaya, for adding that. Thank you so much. Bye, Altaya. Bye. Have a good day. Thank you so much for coming to the class. Yes, we have. I'll see you very soon. Thank you so much. Okay folks, I'm ending the stream, and once again, anybody still watching, thank you so much for joining. I'll see you folks on Monday. Bye bye.